Mujahidin has reportedly taken control of 5 local government areas in Sokoto State, Nigeria: Tangaza, Gada, Illela, Silame, and Binji. The group, heavily armed and linked to ISIS and the Sahel region, is collecting zahats, that's a type of tax, and other levies from local communities, often arriving on motorcycles in groups of 10 and 15. Locals report that group members demand payment, confiscate animals from those who resist, and impose forced labor for crop harvesting and food provision. In Tangaza local government area, the chairman Alhaji Salihu noted cases of robbery, including a recent incident where a shop owner was forced to pay 350,000 naira to recover a seized car. Major General Edward Boba, Director of Defense Media Operations, confirmed the group's affiliation with ISIS and highlighted that Nigeria's porous borders with Niger and Mali have facilitated their movement into Sokoto and Kebbi states. He encouraged residents to report any suspicious activity as security forces work to neutralize these threats, underscoring that swift action is being taken to prevent a recurrence of the situation like the Boko Haram insurgency. This is a very sad event, and I don't know if the statement is actually assuring enough for the people who reside in this environment. And then talking about them taking over, some papers reported it as they have taken over 5 local government areas in the state. And one would ask, where were the security agencies when the first, the second, the third, or did they take over the 5 local government areas in one day? Did all of these activities happen just in one day? These are some of the questions that, beats the imagination of some people who get to hear this story. But let's bring Okechukwu on the conversation.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate and it's really pathetic that things like this are happening. But for me, I strongly believe that for this kind of thing to really take place successfully, they must have some internal collaborators. Because if they don't have internal collaborators, they won't really have a field day with their operations. So there must be some internal collaborators, either within the military, within the locals. These are things that they really need to find out if they must nip this in the bud. Because for me, what's the state of the border? How did these people come in? These are some of the things they need to find out. And for them to have taken over not just one local government, 2, 3, 4, 5 local government area, it leaves so much to be desired. It's something that really desire urgent situation. Really desire urgent measures so that they nip it in the bud. And for me, 5 local governments area overridden by insurgents, it's something that is not palatable. It's something that we shouldn't celebrate. It's something that must be condemned. So we must take this fight to them. Like I've always told people, crime fighting starts with intelligence gathering. Once you gather enough intelligence information, it's easy for you, but you don't wait for them to attack you. That way you're becoming reactionary and not proactive. So first they really need to sit down, find out where these people are coming from, who are their collaborators, the mode they come in, then beef up security. By the time they beef up security, either air patrol and the border patrol, then they really need to check how porous these borders are, which are the routes they come in from, how to curb it, how to block it, so that at the end of the day, you don't wait for these people to attack, because these locals are living at the mercy of these Mujahidins or the terrorists, and it's not a good thing. Collecting levies, taxes from a local government, seizing their vehicles,
their animals.
So the people are even living under siege.
It's very sad when people are living in fear, because that's the scenario that is painted here, living in fear. But I asked the question, the statement that was made, is it in any way assuring, or should I say reassuring, the people of their security?
That statement, it's not even reassuring enough, because he has not told the people what they want to hear. But I strongly believe that anything that has to do with defense and the military is something that is kept in secret. And he shouldn't also come to the air to tell the people, or he shouldn't even come on air to say their plans. So I strongly believe that the military, they are working, but I think they also need to intensify and beef up effort and redouble their efforts.
So the insecurity cases that we have been having in Nigeria, at some point, it began to look like there have been some ease, especially with the next story we're going to take coming from Yobe State and the schools that have been reopened and all of that. But at some point, it looked like there have been some ease with the cases of insecurity that we hear in some parts of Nigeria. There was a time when every single day you hear different cases of insecurity, lives being lost and all of that. And I must state that this, like I said during the introduction, this particular group, this new terrorist group, some papers have reported that they've killed 15 people die as a result of the attack from this terrorist group. And the statements that were made shows that this didn't happen in one day. So if you are suggesting that you think somebody inside, there might be some informant inside giving the information, how then will the people then, how would this be handled? How exactly would this be, taken care of? And how will the government even reassure the people of their security? More people would want to leave those states, migrate, because of the insecurity cases.
Yeah, first, like I pointed, I said there might be some internal collaborators. So that's why they need to go into proper intelligence gathering. Once they go into proper intelligence gathering, they will find out so many things. And once they find out, and I always tell people that once the problem of a thing is known, it is half solved. So once they get to the root cause, know the internal collaborators, know where they are coming from, their mode of operation, they can sit down and profile a proper solution. And anything that has to do with military attack, they don't discuss it in the open domain. They go back, they do that. But for me, I still believe that they should intensify or redouble their efforts.
Let's talk about preventing things like this.
It's first border patrol. Proper and efficient border patrol. Make sure that those borders are properly manned, so that at their point of entry, that is where they are repelled.
Do we not have people manning the borders normally?
But we have very porous borders, and most of our borders are not fenced. They are just open. It's only the entry point where you have a small gate, but other entrances where they enter from, you don't know. So these are the areas that need to be properly manned. And we should also make use of drone cameras to ensure that once these kind of things are happening, from the drone camera, they could see where these people are coming from.
And one would even wonder what the emergency response is like in these places.
The response to such emergency, for me, I think is slow. Why I say it's slow, if it's something that is swift, they wouldn't have taken over 5 local government areas, and they will be coming in at will to oppress the people, demand taxes, levies, intimidate them. That means there's a leeway, no resistance whatsoever. That's why they come.
That's exactly what I was asking. How many days did this happen?
It's something that didn't take one day. It has happened over time. That's why I say their response is very slow. They need to go back. But it has to start from within. Who are their collaborators? How did these people come in? That way, we will nip it in the bud.
All right, so